What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Let's Play Hiveswap Friendsim for the third time. My third playthrough of Hiveswap Friendsim, where instead of just playing by myself or sending photos to a friend, I'm making a commentary YouTube series out of it. Hiveswap Act 2 confirmed it's 2020. I don't know, take your pick from one of my many jokes this season. Potential spoiler warning for Homestuck proper, this game, Pesterquest, Hiveswap, some Homestuck fanfics probably. I'm running out of jokes about Homestuck too, but I refuse to believe it exists. Potential character voices may be inconsistent. We'll find out. I've been okay, but some routes have been better than others. So this week, oh, it's Christmas Tree Man. I don't have a voice for Christmas Tree Man yet. I said this week. I meant today. There's 2 episodes in a week. Anyway, Christmas Tree Man time. God, you have a headache. Is it dehydration? Only if you're thirsty for companionship. Are you hurt? Only your heart. And it aches for more pals. Is it the withdrawal? Only from your addiction to new buddies. Really, there's only one cure for what ails you. Friendship. You wonder whose sweet medicine you'll be imbibing this time. Galekh, that's his name. His name is Galekh. He's not Christmas Tree Man. Just kidding, he is Christmas Tree Man. I'll figure out a voice for him when I get there, as per usual. It's a chilly night. Not in a bad way, though. It's a kind of crisp air that invigorates you. You think you might just fuck around and make a new friend. You're busy breathing in a big old lung full of the stuff when you hear someone call out behind you. I didn't realize he would speak so soon. Hello, excuse me, alien. I would like a word. It's phrased like a request, but delivered like a command. You don't recognize the voice, so you do some mental calculations as you turn. Whoever it is seems like they know who you are, which could be good or really, really bad. You could make it to Zebra's Hive in a few blocks if you had to make a run for it. I'd just take the alien. I'd just take the murder. You couldn't pay me to go back into Zebra's house. That's not exactly a place you'd have to take sanctuary, though, so you figure the risk of talking to this mystery troll's worth it. By the time you've rotated around to face them, you've got a big, friendly grin on. It's a bit of work to keep it there when you see who it is. Tall, sharp suit, well filled out, curly hair, cute little Christmas tree looking horns, an expression that screams would pay someone else to bisect you if you call anything about him cute. He's very square. He reminds me of a kid I knew. Just facial features wise, he's very square as a person. It's a good thing you didn't choose to run, because the last time you saw this guy, he was sprinting away from your sparkly self at top speed. You'd have no chance. He got closer. He strides toward you with considerably less fear, but about as much purpose. Playing it friendly, you hold out your hand for him to shake. He takes it immediately, like it's an instinct. Business instincts. He's been born with businessman instincts. He talks so much. Yes, I am Galekh. You are the alien. Nice to meet you, officially, etc., etc. It is imperative that we speak, as it is a matter of some importance. I hope you will take my request seriously and follow me to my hive where we can talk more openly. It is in your best interest to comply. Footnote 1. I live right around the corner. Footnote 2. This is not a threat, rather it is a genuine expression of the critical nature of my request. Footnote sub 1. If it were a threat, you would know. Wow, okay then. Got a wordy motherfucker over here, huh? A short and sweet, hey, let's hang out, would have worked on your friend thirsty self. But that's fine. You don't have anything else to be doing, so why not follow this pushy highblood back to his house? I am gesturing so much more with my hands today, I don't know how to convey that because you can't hear my hands. Maybe you can, I don't know, maybe you have super hearing. Just imagine I'm gesturing a lot whenever he talks. Wonderful, this way. He bobs gently. He stays true to his word and doesn't say anything else as he leads you toward his hive, but you watch the way he clenches his teeth and flicks his eyes back at you as he walks. He doesn't paint his nails. He should paint his nails. I think it'd look nice. Oh, there his sign is. Sorry, I was like, where is his sign? It's on his sleeve collar. He's about to explode, holding it all in. You walk a little slower, just to bask in the need emanating off of him. He's a fucking castle boy. I forgot he has a fucking castle. Still dizzy with the feeling of having your presence wanted so badly, you trip a bit heading up the wide flight of stairs. And there are a lot of them. Jesus, he could have warned you at least. Obligatory super hello Jeff. I don't even know what to call the feeling, but it's not a good one. You look up as you pull yourself to your feet. The stairs lead up to an old stone building covered with ivy that creeps up around some pointy-topped windows and up to the tops of turrets. It looks like the kind of place a crusty old professor might walk out of, followed by a flock of khaki-clad rich boys. Yeah, it's the business indigos. The door opens with a creak. You do not hear anyone debating the difference between a movie and a film in there, but you do hear bleeding? Sounds reasonable. Once inside, Galekh beckons you through the foyer and into another room, this time unlatching what looks to be a very tall metal baby gate to let you both in. He has a picture of his house on his wall. Why does he have a picture of his house on his wall? Did he put it there? Sir. He checks the latch twice after he shuts it, then gestures to a pair of studded, high-backed chairs on either side of the fire. Please take a seat. I will make us some coffee. You will not have had any like this before, as the taste is drastically different from the slop you'd get in a public coffee shop. Footnote 1. It is possible your palate is not experienced to tell the difference, but I can walk you through the simpler points. I forget. Yeah, his footnotes stay there if you don't hit exit out of them. You do take that seat. And you look around while he fucks with an antique espresso machine. He has a desk covered in papers, open books, and a typewriter. And along the walls there are bookshelves leading up to the vaulted ceiling. Why does he live in a castle? Is he allowed to do that? Is this allowed? Everything has an air of purposeful messiness to it, like he pulled some of his cooler titles to leave lying around for you to see. How flattering. I just had a different thought. So each young troll builds their own hive, with some drone help, as far as we know, right? The heiress, well, so the low-blood hives, we can probably assume, are usually burnt down, because a bunch of them burnt down while the trolls who live in them are still alive. And there's stuff like hive stems, which seem to be like apartment buildings, so I would assume you could just move in when somebody had to move out or died. Is the ocean just... Because then, and then, here, I'll tell you where I'm going with this. Because then the other thing is, each time an heiress comes of age, she goes up to space, and we have to assume that the Condus kills her because the Condus is still in power once, Homestuck proper happens. So if the Condus is still in power, that means every heiress since she came to power, which I believe she was like one of the first ones, every heiress since she came to power has died. I can't imagine the drones would be able or allowed, because it is under the sea, to destroy sea dweller property. Is the ocean littered with the hives of former heiresses? Because, like, from what we can tell of Trizza, she and Fefri have very different housing tastes. So obviously they're not going to, have the same hive. They have totally different interests and totally different views of like how to rule. So they're not going to live in the same hive. And as far as I know, it was never suggested that there was like an heiress's house. So what I'm saying is Eternia bad. And full of ghosts. Which I think we already knew. You mentioned that this is supposed to be one of those personal jerk-off book hives Tazias was talking about. Excuse me? Never mind. You clear your throat and ask him what he wanted to talk about. He hands you a cup and sits down in the other chair. You can't just imagine the Fucking Control-Alt-Delete panel reaches, throwing his arms up in the air. Of course, I just wanted to clear up a misunderstanding between us. You may be under the false impression that I am uninformed re the attributes of rainbow drinkers. You may even think that you successfully fooled me into thinking you were one yourself when we first met. I just had not previously encountered one in real life. Nor had I ever seen an alien, for that matter. Furthermore, when I saw you before, you were in the company of Takora Gorjek. 3. I was making the most reasonable assumption possible, given the information I had available. It makes complete sense if you think about it. Footnote boy. So footnote 1. Specifically, you misunderstanding me. 2. I have spent considerable time in the interim researching you, of course, which is why I was able to track you down so easily. 3. Rainbow fucker extraordinaire. 1. He wishes. He looks at you expectantly. Oh, guess it's your turn to say something. Let's see if I can do this without Googling. I think is that all? Man, what the fuck is this guy talking about? He thought whatever he wanted was going to be a way bigger deal. You want to get it straight, you say. He dragged you all the way here under a thick veil of secrecy just so he could tell you he knows what he's talking about? I just put on chapstick. Imagine the reader putting on chapstick at the end of that. That he was actually right and not wrong, smart and not dumb, specifically about rainbow drinkers. Yes, is this confusing to you? I cannot have people thinking incorrect things about me. Footnote 1. Technically, not only specifically about that topic, but that is the pertinent piece of information in this conversational context. Cool. No, you were just checking. You tap your fingers on the leather arm of the chair. Is that all he wanted from you? Oh, yes, I suppose, as long as we're in agreement, you do not intend to spread any misinformation. You promise. That is great news. There is a long pause. He looks disappointed, somehow. You're not sure if this is what he was expecting, but it sure as hell is what is transpiring. I will show you out. Oh, man. Oh man, it's such a funny end screen. Sorry, I just read something else. I interrupted my own train of thought. I forgot. It's just like, okay, bye, I guess. His little face there. Let's go back to the lmao. I don't give a shit, my dude. You laugh, and then realize he's 100% serious. He really cares that much about what you think of him. It reminds you a bit of you a few months ago. Or, you know, a few days ago. Still, you know what it's like. You try to tread the line between humoring him and easing him out of having to care that fucking much. You tell him you'd like him even if he was a complete rube. A total rainbow-drinking lore idiot if his incompetence knew no bounds. I get it. Oh, heck. If the barely contained panic in his eyes is any indication, he isn't all placated. He isn't at all placated by that. You cut off that line, a friend finagling, and try something you hope is a little more his speed. It must be cool to have a primary source sitting in his own jerk-off book hive, though, right? He exhales, gathering himself a little. He goes, woo. He's very... You know, he's something we could have all been. I'm not sure why you keep calling it that, but I do admit I am interested in the chance to learn more about you. Footnote 1, stop immediately. It's Tizius, who, no offense, Galekh, is cooler than you. His fingers twitch. You hope he doesn't mean it in like a creepy dissection kind of way. You are free to leave, right? You glance anxiously at the locked baby gate. What? Of course you can leave. Just because I am a highblood does not mean I am a fucking sadist. My interest in you is purely academic and friendly. Furthermore, that gate is not for you. Footnote 1. You should know by now that the predilection is not bound to any one caste. 2. I know you are amenable to that kind of thing. 3. Do not worry about it. If all goes well this evening, you will not even have to make use of it. Footnote sub 1. I have more important things to be doing. Sub 1. Usually. You do definitely worry about it, but not in a present, actionable way. Just a sort of under-the-surface self-preservation way you've worried about, everything that's tried to end you or run on here, turning out here so far. I always do that. I hit my finger, as I have my keyboard slides under my desk, and I keep hitting my finger on my desk and clicking the right mouse button, because my hands twitch sometimes. Plus, he offered you friendship. You'll reach your heart into that monkey trap any day. Hell yeah, then. You throw your arms out, toss your head, and tell me you're ready to be studied and subsequently friended. Galekh doesn't pounce right on that, though. Mostly, he looks uncomfortable, which doesn't stop him from talking. I do have considerable interest in understanding the pathos of the alien. What I really want to know is what makes you so magnetic. All observable criteria points to you not being much to look at, but there seems to be something about you that draws people in. Said footnote 1, I apologize if you're offended. That isn't even on the top 10 list of insults you've heard since landing, so you brushed it off just fine. Plus, you have on a good authority that your legs are nice. You flex those bad girls in order to give yourself a little self-esteem boost. I keep looking at his text box and I'm just like, I was wondering if you had emissarial status, but the more I learn about you, the more difficult it becomes to make any sense of your plans. Accounts of your activities contradict each other at almost every turn. You are either the most suave and well-connected plenipotentiary I've ever heard of, or you're running around with no clue what you're doing and it somehow works out for you anyway. Footnote 1, I'm strongly leaning towards the latter, especially after this meeting. Footnote sub 1, for example, what the fuck are you doing with your legs right now? Is that supposed to be impressive to me? You mean, it's worked before. I forgot they can do that. That sound. A low, frustrated clicking rumbles in his throat. He puts his coffee aside and crosses his legs. This is the sort of thing I am talking about. I know all about your antics, leg space and otherwise. I just cannot work out what the draw is. Why do people like this? Footnote 1. Again, no offense intended, and if you feel that way, that is on you. I'm just trying to understand. I forgot he is kind of a dickhead. He seems pretty fixated on this. You wonder if, perhaps, he has some hidden reason for wanting to know why other trolls might be into your freaky little self. Some sort of personal interest in another troll's friendship decisions, inclinations, and interests. Just, maybe. We wait for him to blush, but he doesn't. He does start talking very quickly, though. First of all, I do not mean what you mean by that. I do not base my self-worth on anything so external. Hypothetically, if I did happen to be invested in what someone else thought of me, I would not about to tell you about it. Furthermore, just because I'm not a freak does not mean I do not have desirable traits. Footnote 1. You would probably just tell him anyway. Sub 1. By him, I mean any hypothetical mutual acquaintance. Trolls be bisexual. The goat is here! You'd think he'd probably keep going on forever, now that he started letting it all out, but there's a sound behind you that shuts him the fuck up. There's a lot of fucks in this one. We both stand to see his Lucis, a big scruffy goat, gently headbutting the baby gate. It looks extremely friendable. I lied, I don't. I don't know his root. You think that the later roots, because I would have played them more recently, you'd think I'd remember them more, but really I just focus on which trolls I think are cute. So let's Google. I didn't forget how to spell his name. Well. Ah, yes. If you Google him, the first couple things that show up are by him and Tagora. So. He is so small. He's not that small, but... Okay, yes, that's what I thought. It's feed the beast. As much fun as it is to get monologued out, you opt for a change of pace and ask Galekh if this goat is a good boy. If you call breaking into my book hive and eating the important chapters of my manuscript good, then yes, he's the best. 1. It is in the pre-novel phase, if you are wondering. It is more of an experimental word rumpus. 2. To be fair, raising and providing for me also makes his presence in my life a net positive. He sighs when he says it. It's a mix of frustrated and fond. You pull an apple-adjacent fruit from your hoodie pouch. You never know when you might have to spend the day hiding in an alley, so pocket snacks that don't make you puke are extremely useful. They've been out foraging. In the wilds. Don't know how they haven't died yet. You offer it to the Lucis, and he uses his teeth and tongue to pull it to him through a hole in the gate. Nice. You don't have to have a crisis about whether or not you should let him into the room, because once he's swallowed his snack, he trots back down the hallway. You mosey over towards Galekh, plop back down on the chair, and let him know you're ready to get this fact exchange party started. You wonder to yourself what kind of information actually exists about aliens. I mean, humans, on Alternia. The fact that you have started thinking of yourself as the alien is mostly fine, you figure. It's what the trolls vibe with, which is what you're all about in the end. But it could be cool, maybe, to hear about the history of humankind from their perspective. Humans don't have a history yet. You've been curious, and if anyone would know, it'd be this fucking nerd. So you ask. There is absolutely nothing. I have read all kinds of reports on other alien races, of course. I can pull those for you if you would like. As for your species, I can confidently say there is no recorded history of your kind in Alternia. 1. If what you're after is bloody accounts of the destruction of entire species, or painstakingly detailed logbooks of resources taken from various planetary systems by our forces. 2. If they existed, I would know about it. Whoops. Sub 1. The economics involved would probably go over your nug bone. Oh. Wow. So you're the first of your kind to visit, huh? You flexed again and bragged that maybe that's your secret to why everyone is so hot with your friendship. That even Galekh can tell you're not really feeling it. You just talked so much. Is this what it's like talking to me? No wonder people don't like me very much. I mean, it's still weird, because every so often I'm just like, yeah, humans don't exist from their perspective. Because the people that make humans are going to be alive for who knows how long after this game, this like kind of time period in the world. So like, if you say so. Are you some kind of highblood equivalent back home? Is that why you're so friendable here? What is your planet system of government, and where do you fit into it? What are your main off-world exports? What were some of the defining moments in your species' development? Have you formed any bonds here that would say fit your planet's equivalent of the quadrant system? 1. Supposedly friendable. I still have yet to feel the impulse. 2. If so, with whom? You're not ready to take the space ACT. You're too busy trying to sort through the idea that you were the literal only option for him to learn any of this shit. The only one of your kind around. You feel like the frame surrounding your life has shifted, like everything around you zoomed out to the widest angle, with you, a tiny speck in the corner, invisible to the naked eye. Ooh, maybe you should sit down. Ah, fine. You're already sitting down. Maybe you should lie down. You crawl onto the floor, which Galekh probably won't like, but you're too busy having an existential crisis to care. God damn it, that's a lie, too. You definitely still care what he thinks of you. It isn't the first time you felt overwhelmed by your situation since you landed. That isn't even the 100th, honestly. It's just that you kind of always had a back pocket assumption that there'd be some way out of this. Sure, you're having fun making friends and allies, assembling a new wardrobe, and picking up weird survival skills. It just hadn't quite hit you that this might be all that was left for you. For real. Is the floor wriggling another alien friendship ritual I just do not grasp the allure of, or are you spontaneously suffering? Please stop whatever this is. Footnote 1. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to tell the difference. My nose is getting stuffy. You want to answer him, but words feel so far away in this moment. You try to call up how you crashed, or what the ass you were doing in the spaceship to begin with. Are you even a certified astronaut? Do you have an advanced degree? Do you have hands? Your vision blurs and you feel queasy. You need air. A lot of it. You run towards the closest available source. A wide window. Demonstrating yourself is maybe not the best option, but it is the one you are currently the most emotionally attuned to, so that is what the fuck you do. Luckily, the panes of the window open like French doors, and you're still on the first floor. Excuse me. You spill out without breaking any glass or limbs. Behind you, Galekh hollers. It still feels nice outside. You lay there and breathe in and out and try to pull your shit together. From your prone position, you can see Galekh put one leg over the windowsill, shake his head, and then pull it back and turn away. He certainly looks fit enough to be able to manage that leap, but of course he wouldn't bother. You should give up on your hot mess of an alien self. You're fine wasting away out here like yesterday's banana peels anyways. You're ready to take a depression rap right then and there when you hear the front door open. Oh, he's mad. Oh no, the nerd's pissed. Galekh is stomping towards you, flushed and fuming. He looms above you, his large frame quaking with anger. I gather my energy for this. Okay. Listen here, you little shoot maggot. I have opened my home to you. I have opened my mind to the possibility of understanding you despite multiple instances of you not offering me the same courtesy. I only wanted to correct your misconceptions about me and to have a chance to exchange some cultural understanding. 1. You have to be the worst ambassador I have ever heard of. No, he stood up and promised that he's been great. The best and smartest friend you've met yet. A great host. Excellent even. It's not his fault that you're not clicking like you do with other people. If that were true, why would you spend this entire visit acting like a fresh-hatched idiot? At this point, I have to conclude that you are mocking me and my genuine interest in you. There is no other explanation for your behavior. 1. Do not begin to insult me by claiming otherwise. You tried to explain that you were just in your feelings, but he has stopped humoring you. He turns on his heel and stomps back inside. You want to hope he'll come back the drive to understand outweighing the drive to be done with your sorry ass. But you know he won't. Drag yourself to your feet and start the slow, lonely walk to somewhere, anywhere else. From the open window, his Lucas cocks his head to the side and softly bleats his goodbyes. Just look so sad. And so does he with his little Christmas tree horns. Don't mind me. Let's go get that good ending with the fucking nerd. There are 2 of them. Fucking wild, dude. So, to get the better ending, we're going to stay on topic, which is what I will not be doing in my class tonight. Please ignore him. He just wants to get in here and cause problems. 1. He will wander away in a minute. You think hard to yourself about this. You really want to go pet the big goat dad, but you want to dish about this guy's love life even more. Does goat dad? You can't see Lucis's pupils. I forgot. He still has a fucking... Why does he have a picture of his house in his house? You've heard some about the situation from the other side, of course, but you really shouldn't let Galekh know that Tagora tells you about their tentative and awkward pitch-is flirtation. Unless, you know, it helps you get more friends. No! You slap your own cheek to snap yourself out of it. No secret spilling. Galekh leans away from you against the back of his chair. Fuck, you are really not doing anything to change my impression of you. You have an idea, so you cut him off before he can monologue you to death. You tell him that it sounds to you like what's really bothering him, a regular, non-freaky guy, is that he's jealous of your free-spirited friendability. He wants what you got. He is angry. Nerd angry. He glares at you, his breath quickening. Yeah, you hit a nerve. I do not want anything of yours. Sub 1. What does he mean by that, though? What is exactly that you've got? He is not. Sub 1? Never mind. Redact that. I reiterate my perfidious, non-covetous sense. Interrupting him has worked pretty well so far, so you try it again. Let's cut the shit, you say. There's no reason for him to hide anything from you. You only have a several thousand follower Chitter account. That actually sounds like something that would have been in the narration. First of all, you already promised him to like him no matter what. Secondly, you know what it's like to want to impress someone. And frankly, you know all about how to be a huge motherfucking weirdo. So, why doesn't he let you show him how to walk on the wild side? You can take a few pointers from Alternia's biggest freak. You can see the ensuing makeover montage already, and you start bouncing a bit in your seat. I just remembered Malik is in this episode. I have to remember what his voice sounds like. Give me a moment. The answer is I somehow always manage to make trolls that appear in the same scene sound really similar, so we'll figure it out. I have zero interest in. Okay, that won't do it. You try one more tactic. Telling him you guess he doesn't mind not knowing shit about how to be a freak. Old Galekh, they'll all say, smart at how to be boring, and a real dumbass about weird stuff. Oh, I see what you're doing. It stands to reason that allowing you to broaden my horizons with your alien ways will only serve to increase my cultural competence. Footnote 1. Whoops. Unfortunately for me, it will absolutely work. Great! So what'll it be? Shopping for a new, more casual suit? Or something wilder? Spicy undergarments? Dyeing your hair? Other weirder body mod? Galekh's eyebrows shoot up. That last one sounds interesting. Wow. He's really ready to go whole ass, huh? You weren't expecting that from this guy. But you tried to guess he was waiting for an excuse to try something. That, or he really can't deal with not being Alternia's biggest obnoxious know-it-all. It's an ongoing competition. Go big or get cold, as they say. Damn. That probably is what they say. Anyway, you can't wait to get this show on the road. You tell him you even know a guy that could probably help him out. I just got struck by the giggles. Sorry. Will he be discreet? I'm willing to leap into this, but I do need to protect my privacy, of course. Oh, for sure. You mean, like, probably. Shut up, Galekh. You want to hate make out with a teal. Teals talk about everything. His brow furrows, either at your continued interruption or your hesitance, so you waste no more time and whip out your palm husk. You pull up the secret bright profile you got Malik to make so you can keep in touch and call him up. There he is. Okay, his username is Snakebites, and I know it's probably a joke about how he's a snake lusus, but that's the one piercing he doesn't have in this picture. Are Snakebites. What's up, Robo-Buddy? You get right to him and tell him you made a new friend who's looking to get a new hole put in him. Behind you, you hear Galekh choke on his coffee. Artistically, an aesthetic hole. Galekh shrugs weakly, his eyes still wide. Or something similar. Hell yeah. Anything for you, bud. Malik's eyes dart from your face to the room behind you. You're not sure how much you can see through the screen, though. That's right, they probably have, like... Because assuming that... It's probably wider webcams. My gear equals easy to pack, so I'll be over soon. I'll bring options. You start to give him directions, but he stops you. Don't worry, I know exactly where you are. Your palm husk equals low jacked. Figured you'd be cool with that. See you soon. You ever the one cerulean boy in the world and he tracks your ass? Malik hangs up and you grin at Galekh to reassure him. This seems like a manageable situation. He offers you more coffee, which you take because you were a polite guest. Galekh starts ideating in a small leather-bound notebook, so you mostly watch, listen to him explain the brainstorming process, take sips, and wish the goat would come back. Eventually, you hear soft footsteps approaching. Here he is. It's the boy. Galekh jumps when Malik opens the baby gate. How did you get in the front door? I hacked it. he wiggled. Galekh's mouth opens and shuts a few times. His eyes dart between your and Malik's matching hoodies. Just kidding. Your operation equals pretty low tech for an indigo, unfortunately. You Lucis let me in. Anyway, I'm Malik. And from behind him, a proud bleating. Hell yes! The goat is here! Galekh looks around and wrings his hand. There's a lot going on all of a sudden. He points to you. You, alien, hold on to my Lucis. He cannot be unsupervised here, or he will eat everything. As for you, Malik, hello. My name is Galekh. Last name. Ikisi. Welcome to my hive. Footnote 1. Things are not typically so hectic in here, I apologize. That equals not equals a problem. I hear you want to get freaky. Galekh tugs at the bottom of his suit jacket, strengthening it reflectively. Poor dude. You want to tell him you're proud of him for going so far out of his depth, but he seems to be holding his own here. Plus, the goat really wants to make a snack out of simple paper packs. You take your job seriously, and hold on tight to his neck. Look at that. Soft. Soft goat boy. Yes, that is correct. I hear you have the tools to help me achieve this. I am open to a wide range of modifications. My notebook has some sketches. Footnote 1. I will need to be able to hide it easily under hide it easily under clothing, however. 2. Look at only the last 6 pages. Flip to an unauthorized section and you will lose the privilege of using your eyes ever again. Indigos. Sorry, my nose is all weird. You want to dutifully not look and not touch too, but wrangling a big goat is a full-time job. Malik holds up the notebook for you both to see. Wow, Galekh's turned out quite artist, actually. Still, you have to kind of turn your head and squint to make out what is going on in a couple of the sketches. Yes, there are still a few surprises left for you in the brave new world of troll anatomy, huh? Galekh drolled troll dick. You point to the sketch you like best with one hand as you scramble to keep hold of a fistful of wriggly Lucis fur with the other. Yeah, I can work with that. Oh yeah, button up, let's get some layers off. His shirt is not big enough for him. He's an indigo. He has money. Go get your shirt tailored, young man. Galekh flips his eyes to you and you give him a big, supportive thumbs up. You look politely away when he starts taking off his jacket. Instead, you focus on your job. And, oh, you have some pocket snacks. You pull out some mostly not brewed fruit and offer it to Galekh's Lucis. He chops it up readily and calms down a bit. Jeez, can't Galekh afford food for this guy? He eats plenty. Footnote 1. He's only being dramatic. He's a good boy. This goat dad is a good boy, as opposed to the other goat dad who we'll meet in a future series. Who makes me do that? Galekh doesn't take off his undershirt, but he does roll up the bottom of it before leaning his forearms against the back of one of his chairs, exposing the broad palate of his hips and back. Don't mind me. It was useless text. The design does capture an ineffable facet of my core self. Get going on it. I assume I do not need to spell out potential consequences if you stray from that division, correct? What? Before I change my mind. We get it. You're a fucking indigo and you can punch people. Malik rolls his eyes and pulls out a tattoo gun. It looks mostly how they do on Earth, but with a strip of greenish, almost biological light. Don't worry, your blood color equals crystal clear. They're angry boys. Galekh winces at the first press of the gun to his skin. Or maybe it's the lasers? There's a glow happening back there. He goes so fast. With the Lucis sated, you're free to see what's going on, so you climb into the chair Galekh's leaning against the back of and peer over to watch. So what's the deal with this anyway? Tattoos just seem much like your vibe. There's no specific reason, I am simply fleshing out my world experiences, attaining visceral knowledge of a new kind. 1. Intense physical pain for one, though I'm able to bear it. I was gonna make an Unisonus joke, but Unisonus ends in like 3 or 4 days, and He's checking off something from his bucket list, you hopefully add. Oh no, I forgot there's a bucket joke in this one. Galekh flushes bright blue and jerks backward, screeching like you haven't heard since you first met and traumatized him. Oh boy, you have no idea how, but that was apparently extremely the wrong thing to say. Watch it. You're gonna make me fuck up your ineffable vision. No need to flip your think pen. Gotta do what it takes to find a bucket, buddy. I've been there. It's funny, because that's what he's doing anyways. Galekh stares decidedly into the middle distance as he breathes in and out and repositions himself against the chair. That is extremely not what this is about. I am perfectly capable of fulfilling my propagational duties. This is not a thing I have to do, it is a thing I want to do. If it happens to spark I can't talk! Concuspecent interest, so be it. Whoops. Footnote 1. Thank you very much for your vote of confidence. 2. There is a significant semantic difference here. 3. Or deeper conversational interest. Yeah, whatever, I'm judged. You only have the barest grasp of what they're discussing here. But things are starting to click into place. I've connected the dots. You haven't connected shit. You don't want to embarrass your potential new friend by calling him out on his crush even further, or implying that he can't find anyone to fill a quadrant with. You tell Malik that Galekh is making his decisions based on his own personal, emotional, self-educating journey, and that's all. Yes, that is the heart of it, exactly. Thank you. Crumb people away. Galekh smiles at you, and it's crooked and stiff on his face like he hadn't expected you to put it there. You smile back and place your hand on top of his, white-knuckled against the back of the chair. He winces in pain only once more before Malik steps back, tilting his head to admire his handiwork. That'll do it. Galekh rolls his shoulder and twists his body around to check his new ink. Satisfied, he turns to extend his hand to Malik. Thank you for your time on such short notice. Would you like to stay too? Malik shakes his hand, but cuts him off there. No thanks, I'm not much for the after party. See you around, Robo-Bun. Nice to chat you, Button-Up. He tosses the gear back in his bag and nods at you both. On his way out, he pats the goat's head, now placid. One new friend is enough for one day, I suppose? No, it's not. Thank you for encouraging me to try something new. I do not completely understand you, but your penchant for flinging yourself wholeheartedly to precarious situations is fascinating. Footnote 1. It's quite a rush, isn't it? That is what you do best. You grin uncontrollably at the compliment. His shirt doesn't fit him. He got man titties. I might try employing that tactic a bit more in my daily life, if it will lead to newer, deeper grasp of the troll condition. As such, I have 2 confessions for you. Fuck, yes. Life confessions. He takes a deep breath and gets the rest out all in one go. 1. I knew only an elementary amount of information about rainbow drinkers before I met you, and 2. The reason for my frond hinge jerk reaction at the time was because of my gorget-shaped blind spot. Footnote 1. It is feelings-based. He's just got a pitch crush. Fucking hates the guy. You graciously do not let on that those are 2 of the most obvious pieces of information you've ever encountered. Galekh clears his throat and thrusts his palm husk toward you. Now that we've taken care of that, take a photo. I can't reach. Step 1. Observe me admitting to these inadequacies with ease. Let me gather my thoughts for a second. I want to dunk on him so bad for being an indigo. But also, I was earlier today, the day I'm recording this, thinking about Claire and their mate Spirit, who is actually Octa's character. Hi Octo, you're probably listeners eventually. I've had a piece of art in my head for them for ages, and I just haven't gotten around to doing it. He turns around, and he lovingly set up the shot. To skip to a different topic. On his hip boat is a modest rendition of his sign, in indigo, of course. It's framed by 2 sprigs of pine, crossed under it in a V. The look on his face as he turns back over his shoulder for the camera is the most self-satisfied thing you have ever seen. When you hand Galekh his palm husk back, he fucks around with it for a minute, and then it starts buzzing with notification after notification. He looks at you, a smile creeping into the corner of his mouth. He bites it back like he's not sure what to do with the undefinable happiness he's experiencing. He hates it. The boy, he is a tube. He is a tube man. Look at him. Look at this tube of a boy. Anyway, we got Galekh a pitch crush going. We made a new friend. I had some gay thoughts. we got a victory with some nice pretty colors on it. I was thinking about the art style things, don't mind me. So next video is, I believe, the teal gremlin. Torona is her name. I don't know why, Torona. Excuse me. So apparently I'm only discovering this several days later. It deleted my goodbye. So, goodbye, and I'll see you in the next episode.